like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Have you ever watched a moment so quiet that it made your heart beat louder? Not because something obvious happened, but because something felt undeniable. A moment that didn't scream for attention, yet refused to let you breathe normally afterward. Because this was one of those moments. Hello everyone. The final episodes of Are You Sure didn't come crashing in with tears, dramatic music, or grand declarations. They arrived softly, almost silently, like a breath held for far too long, and when it was finally released, it didn't explode. It settled, deep in the chest, right where feelings linger. And right there, we find the most intimate Jikook moment we've seen so far. Not intimacy designed to trend. Not closeness exaggerated for the camera. But the kind of intimacy that exists even when no one is meant to notice. Today, we're slowing everything down for one scene. A scene so small, so subtle, it could easily be skipped. And yet, because of that, it may say more than anything else. Jimin and Jungkook are lying in the same bed. The image alone feels almost too personal. Not shocking. Not sensational. Just natural. The kind of closeness that doesn't need explanation. They lie side by side, bodies aligned with an ease that can only come from deep familiarity. It doesn't feel like a filmed moment. It feels like we accidentally stepped into something private. There's no stiffness. No self-consciousness. No awareness of being watched. Only comfort. Settled. Unquestioned. Earned over time. The space between them is barely there, as if their bodies already know the answer to a question no one asked. Their position isn't careful. It's instinctive. Like breathing. Like muscle memory. Like two people who don't need to think about where they belong when the day finally ends. This isn't nervous closeness. This is mature calm. The calm of two people who know each other's warmth. Who recognize each other's presence without looking. Who don't need words to confirm safety. And then, details begin to matter. The first thing you notice is this. Neither of them is asleep. Jimin is still holding his phone. The faint glow touches his face, signaling awareness, consciousness, choice. Seconds pass. Then the screen goes dark. Not because sleep claimed him, but because he chose to disconnect. From everything else. From the world outside the bed. And Jungkook? He is awake too. Very much so. His movements aren't random. They aren't sleepy reflexes. They're careful. Intentional. Almost reverent. He shifts closer, slowly, like someone who is deeply aware of another person's breathing, body, and presence. Every inch he closes feels deliberate. Considered. Which is why the caption on screen, waking up his suddenly fallen asleep Hyung, feels wrong. Because Jimin isn't asleep. There's no startle. No pull from a dream. No confusion. This isn't about waking someone up. This is about choosing proximity. It's about that quiet instinct that says, come closer. About presence that doesn't announce itself, but is deeply felt. About wanting, not needing, to be near. And then it happens. A tiny shift. A breath closer. Faces nearing a distance that suddenly feels too intimate to ignore. For a fraction of a second, barely there, it almost looks like a kiss. Almost. The camera never confirms it. There's no dramatic angle. No clear proof. And somehow, that makes it even more intense. Because the most private moments are never fully shown. They live in uncertainty. In pauses. In seconds that make you stop breathing. The kind of seconds that make you replay the scene. Not to see more, but to feel it again. Two people. One bed. One silence charged with familiarity, comfort, and something far deeper than coincidence. This is why Jikook always feels different. They never try to prove anything. They never perform intimacy. They simply exist in it. Especially when no one is supposed to be watching. As the moment continues, it doesn't rush. It sinks. Jungkook moves again. Slow, gentle, deliberate. He adjusts Jimin's body, turning him so they face each other. Not abruptly. Not carelessly, but like someone who knows exactly how far is safe and exactly how close he wants to be. He pulls Jimin closer. No urgency. No hesitation. The world narrows to the space between their breaths. Everything else fades. The production, the context, the noise. Then their heads touch. Not dramatically. Not suddenly. But like something familiar. Like returning to a place that already feels like home. And that's what makes it overwhelming. Because nothing is exaggerated. Nothing is forced. Just silence. Heavy, warm, meaningful. And then, something almost imperceptible. A sound. So nearly lost between breaths. So quiet it could be missed if you're not listening with your heart. Some fans believe Jungkook whispers a single word. Gentle. Protective. Meant for only one person. Slowly. Not a command. Not a warning. The kind of care that comes from trust so deep it no longer needs explanation. From closeness so established it doesn't need permission. And suddenly, the moment feels too tender for logic alone. How do you analyze something like this? A moment that doesn't shout, but lingers. That doesn't demand attention, but refuses to let go. Because inside that whisper lives something powerful, quiet devotion, mature intimacy, and a bond that no longer asks to be defined. This isn't just physical closeness. This is emotional fluency. Jungkook's gaze holds intensity, but also restraint. Desire, but also reverence. Not a look that takes, but one that cherishes. Jimin meets it softly, almost shyly, like they're sharing a world no one else is allowed to enter. Every glance, every pause, every gentle touch, says more than words ever could. No captions are needed. No explanations required. Because what's happening is already understood. This isn't just being together. This is a private language, spoken only between them. And maybe that's the real reason this moment stays with us. Not because of what we saw, but because of what we felt. The warmth that lingers after the screen fades. The silence that follows. Jikook has never been about convincing the world. They've always spoken quietly, through proximity, shared air, half whispers, and a presence that says I'm here without making a sound. If this moment made you hold your breath, if it made you replay the scene, if it left you strangely quiet afterward, then maybe you felt it too. That something was there. Too gentle to ignore. Too real to be accidental. Thank you for being here. And if this moment touched you the same way, leave your mark. Like, comment, subscribe. Because some stories don't need to be shouted. They only need to be felt, together.